Hello, kia ora, g'day. I'm Philip Duncan from Weather Watch TV with your Australia-only forecast through until Sunday. We've got big downpours coming in for Queensland. Haven't had a few there for a while, so this is a bit more widespread for some places. And we're also seeing more spring-like weather in the southeastern corner. If you thought spring was coming to an end, this is just a reminder that we've only just kind of started or getting to the halfway mark of it. So let's have a look at the wind map for Monday PM. You can see low pressure in the Tasman and a windier southerly flow moving up the eastern coastline, fading out just north of Brisbane. Bit of windy weather also coming out of the Southern Ocean area, nothing too major in there for you, and a bit of a breeze through Bass Strait and easterly this time. Otherwise, not a lot really going on. Let's have a look at the big picture now for Tuesday into the afternoon, and you can still see that low in the Tasman Sea. That's driving in a few coastal showers from Sydney up to, well, really only about Port Macquarie. You go north of that, not really seeing too much, but a couple of showers do line the Queensland coast as well. There are a few showers around northern parts of Australia and around Western Australia. They're not massive amounts of rain, but those cloud buildups do pop up. Now you've got high pressure around the Great Australian Bight, low pressure up around Darwin. Not a big low, but just a bit of sinking low pressure. So between those two systems, that's what's driving in this windier easterly, which is pretty much from about Carnarvon northwards. You'll be noticing those hot, dry winds blowing off the desert, lifting up your temperatures. All right, let's move through to Wednesday now. So a line of showers or convergence bubbling up into the afternoon. It doesn't look too extreme, but do keep up to date with the Bureau of Meteorology just in case there are any thunderstorm warnings coming out of that. I know you've had some severe weather with big hail and thunder over the last few days, so we just want to be aware of any more of that weather. So keep up to date with the Bureau of Meteorology. We're looking at trying to bring in some thunderstorm maps here and a few other things. It just takes a lot of time. We're a very small company. We don't have a lot of resources. Thank you to the people that donate to us on YouTube, by the way. It's always appreciated and always noticed. Look at the windy colder change that comes down to Tasmania on Wednesday. Back to spring, back to those windy, wet westerlies, although it won't be wet for those of you on the eastern side, but on the west coast the rain kicks back in again, or showers. Windy sou'westers, only a few showers coming in for Victoria, South Australia and Western Australia, and drying out now for a large portion of New South Wales and Queensland. But on Thursday, there's a bit of a change here. It's around Central Queensland. You'll be seeing these afternoon downpours bubbling up. They'll be continuing on into the evening as well. Thunder, big hail are possible in that area there with the gold shading. Elsewhere, there could be a few heavier falls along the eastern coastline. Otherwise, not too much going on. And that windier, colder, spring-like change for Tassie now comes into Victoria. Melbourne's had a set of severe weather lately. Doesn't look quite so severe here on Thursday, but the colder change can always bring in some thunderstorms when you go from that warm to cooler change. And yes, still a few more downpours around Darwin and Katherine and further down around inland parts of the Western Australia, around Tom Price, for example. Let's take a look here at Friday. You can see, speaking of Tom Price, a few showers here dropping down through inland areas all the way down past Kalgoorlie as well. Again, I don't think the totals will be huge, but you never know. You might get an isolated thunderstorm out of that, so keep up to date with the Bureau's warnings. Those downpours carry on though. North of Brisbane, south of Rockhampton, especially along the coast and pushing up to the hills, you'll be getting those thunderstorms and downpours, and also between Sydney and Port Macquarie, a chance of some heavy showers there as well. Meanwhile, out at sea in the Tasman, Lord Howe Island getting some rain for you, but possibly getting 30 or 40 millimetres, so that'll be great for the rainwater tanks. Norfolk Island, not quite as much rain, but some wet weather coming in for you as well. Plenty of coastal showers for Victoria and showers around Tassie. So let's go into the weekend now. So we've got still a couple of coastal showers in the east, nothing too much, but around Port Macquarie, Grafton areas, that's where you're seeing those showers, maybe Brisbane as well. A couple of showers inland from Cairns, a couple of showers around Darwin and through inland parts of Western Australia, but these coastal parts to the south coming into Kalgoorlie and Esperance areas, regions, those plates there could get some heavier showers. It's a southerly change. It depends on how the day sets up, and we're still a few days out, so can't really lock that in just yet. Showers around Tasmania continue, and on Sunday, another return in Tasmania to spring weather with a colder change once more heavier downpours on the western side and those windier westerlies push into Victoria. Not so much as a windy westerly, but you're on the northern side of it, so it's not quite so windy, but that westerly flow drives in a few showers here and there, but a little further northwards, those wind flows all change direction, so it depends on where you are. And more downpours between Charleville and Brisbane popping up on Sunday, also around Alice Springs, Uluru, Ayers Rock, and a little part of Western Australia. It looks large in the shading there, but the pale blue, remember, 0.2 millimetres, so that might just be a large cloud build-up, doesn't necessarily produce the rain that you may or may not be wanting. Anyway, that is all from me. Just a programming note. Monday next week, we have no video for you guys because here in New Zealand where I am, it's our Labour weekend, so we've got a long weekend. So our next week, we'll only have one video on the Thursday. But we will see you again this week on Thursday with our next 7-day Australia Rain Watch outlook. And we'll be taking a lot of a closer look at these downpours that are forming and what's going to be happening as we go into next week as well. Next week looks a bit quieter with high pressure around, but still those afternoon downpours, they are in the mix. That's all from me. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again on Thursday.